Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going today? A little different today. We started a little earlier, about an hour or so early. I've got to be up super early tomorrow, and people will complain when I don't, do a show. So I'm just doing it a little earlier today. I don't think CMP gets any of those complaints though, because I don't think anybody cares when he misses a day. So
Wow.
today is the best day of the week, as I've been told by numerous people.
It's hump day.
Biggie, man, how's it going? How's your day going?
Man, when I tell you it has been a work day, matter of fact, it's been a work week. But we got a 3-day weekend. Matter of fact, I'm taking a 4-day weekend coming up. So zero complaints, man. Zero complaints.
And enjoy it when you can get it, man. Enjoy it when you can get it.
Absolutely.
Well, take a load off, man, and relax, have some fun. We'll talk some statues. Hopefully you'll get out of that mood.
I'm praying, man. I'm praying. I think once we jump into the conversation, I'll slowly let go of all the work crap that's floating around in my head.
Matt, what's up, man? How's your day going?
It's going, man. I've gotta go to the doctor. So I've been experiencing some allergies or something here past few days. Actually, it's kind of been off and on ongoing. I don't know what it is, but every now and then I'll break out with some hives. For some reason. I don't know. I think it's a food allergy. I just can't figure it out yet.
What do you keep eating consistently?
That's just it. Nothing, man. I change it up, and that's what I'm saying. I changed it up just to see if it would be something that I was eating consistently, but
yeah,
I don't know. I need to go on some sort of like cleansing purge or something like that. Do a piggy root for a week.
Here you go.
Drink all that green drink you be drinking.
Yep.
I've been on melons all week.
I don't know. I feel like what's his name? Hitch, where he walks into the freaking eat the shellfish and he's drinking the Benadryl in the store.
It could be something in the air, Matt.
No, because it happened when we were down south. I was in Louisiana and Florida, and it's like it's intermittent. You know what I mean? It's just stress. These statues, these people. I don't know. POs come due. You know how that goes.
Shipping. Yeah.
Shipping. So I don't know. Whatever.
Well, hope you feel better, man. I know that stuff isn't fun. My sister has really, really bad allergies, like all the time, and I didn't get any of that stuff. I always tell her, she got all the shitty stuff, and I was born perfect. So always a competition between me and her. So
let's send Matt some sea moss. That'll knock it out, whatever it is.
Some what?
Sea moss.
Yep. Sea moss.
Yep.
What's that?
I'll send it to you. Just take it. You'll feel better.
All right.
It'll knock out everything.
Give me.
By the way, since we're talking about food, pumpkin spice lattes are back at Starbucks.
Already?
There you go.
Not even fall yet.
I know. It's not even September yet.
I'm so basic. Sorry.
Starting earlier and earlier. They had a Christmas decorations up in there too. When you went to get the.
No, I went to the drive-thru, man. But I'm sure they've got Halloween stuff already. I'm sure.
Wow.
But yeah, so today's topic, right? I've been seeing it a lot in the license groups lately. A lot actually. And it's all the licensed companies, it seems like. PCS, Sideshow. I think John had a statue that he unboxed, right?
Yeah,
it was
Prime One. Was
it Prime One or was it
J&D? I'm sorry, it was J&D.
J&D, and he sent it back twice and had some problems with it. I'm just seeing a lot of
Wait a minute. So he sent it back. Did they send another one, or
Yeah, they sent another one. He had some different issues.
issues with the second
Yeah,
one?
yeah, it was the second one.
It was the base. The paint.
Yeah,
Was,
the paint was all jacked up.
yeah, it was like they didn't allow it to dry, and they kind of wrapped it and sent it. So you kind of had.
There's no excuse for something like that when you're paying that much money for a statue, man.
I agree.
So yeah, that's kind of what I want to talk about today. It just seems like it's getting worse with the QC in a lot of these companies, and I'm not seeing the same thing in the custom community. And if it is, it's like very minor things here and there, but it's not like it kind of did it like a 180. Like customs used to always be the ones that had issues and licensed, didn't. Now it seems like it's reversed. I don't know what's going on, but it seems like it's crazy right now. We'll talk about that, as we go, because obviously some might say Sideshow they're hurrying up their process, right? Because they are getting their statues out within less than a year these days, and maybe they're not doing a full QC or for whatever reason. We'll get into that later when we start talking about it. But real fast, I'm going to say hi to everybody that's in the chat. Let's see here. Luke, what's up, man? Casual, what's up? He's going to hop on here in a little bit too. I think he's still working. Carl, what's up, man? Frenzy, what's up? Gmoya, what's up? Let's see here. D3, what's up, man? Radium Jim, how's it going? He said had some issues with their site, so Archangel twice after sending it back and getting a new one. Yeah, I seen that too earlier today, actually. BK Collector, what's up, man? And that's it for right now. But yeah, so I kind of wanted to get into this topic because I'm seeing it more. It seems like, especially with Sideshow, and I just wanted to do like a comparison, man. Because honestly, right now, I think if you're not collecting customs, like if you're not trying to dip your toe into the custom community, I think people are missing out. I really, really do. And I've said it since I started this channel. I think if you don't try and collect, maybe try it, and see what happens. But I think people are missing out on a whole different part of statue collecting.
I agree, Jarhead. I don't have enough to do like comparative data, but just from like the past couple of weeks. So actually, it's odd that we're having this topic because when you and I were down at StatueCon, everybody was pinging me, letting me know. Well, not everybody, but multiple people were saying, "I got my Sideshow Archangel, and there are paint issues." At least about 5 people hit me up like, "Yeah, I'm having problems with the Archangel." Right while we were at StatueCon looking at an Archangel, and then I had an Archangel being delivered to my house while we were up there. And so in Sideshow's defense, it wasn't all of them, but of course I don't know what the ratio is, but the one that we saw in StatueCon was fine, that I saw for the most part. And the one
I will say it wasn't perfect. Like it was better than a lot of the ones we've seen, but there was a couple little things here. And if I wanted to be nitpicky, you could have. But it wasn't bad by no means.
Yeah, it wasn't to the caliber of what people were reporting. Yeah. And then when I got home, and I bust out the magnifying glass to go over mine with the fine-tooth comb because after hearing the horror stories, I was looking for any scratch, and unfairly, because of course anything can go wrong, but we're thinking about like what we pay for these pieces. And now you're adding tariffs on top of them. I was all on the inside of the wing, holding it up to the light, putting my glasses in front of the magnifying glass, and mine was fine. But that doesn't detract from all the people that were reporting issues with it. And I think that's a problem when you have that many people reporting an issue with the piece at the exact same time. And I think that's what kind of kicked off the recent instances that we're having of these, or that's what started the ripple effect to where now we're like 3-4 statues down the line, and it's just happening over and over again with the license companies. And I mentioned comparative data because I got the She-Hulk in around the same time, a few days later, and the She-Hulk was perfect. And everyone
the custom She-Hulk, right?
Yes, the custom She-Hulk. Thank you. The custom She-Hulk was perfect. Well, mine was perfect, and everybody that I talked to, they were overall satisfied. There were some things that people didn't like as far as the design, that they weren't expecting, but there weren't things that were wrong with it structurally or cosmetically. Like there was nothing wrong with the paint. There was nothing wrong like that. No one was reporting anything was wrong with the statue. There were different things like, oh, I didn't know if I got the black-haired version that she would have all these green highlights, but there was nothing like, oh, her hair was messed up, the portrait was off, the paint was off. I have not heard any complaints as far as the integrity of or the paint of the statue as far as that custom She-Hulk at all. And those were the two that I'm kind of comparing. Everybody hit me up about the sideshow Archangel, but no one hit me up as far as those type of complaints with the custom She-Hulk. So,
like I said, I've just noticed an uptick in, it seemed like, the license stuff. And actually, speaking of StatueCon, I did talk to the sideshow guys while I was there about the situation. They knew about it, of course, because Facebook and everything. I'm not going to go into details of what we talked about, but they are aware of a situation that they need to rectify. So hopefully they'll end up fixing the situation, and that'll take care of things. But I think the damage is kind of done already. I know another collector today, I think he sent back his second Archangel and got another one back, and it was jacked up. The wings were messed up really bad. So I don't know, man. It just, and I'm rooting for these companies, but if you're going to charge that much money, if you've gone up in pricing that much, you need to have equivalent, quality control. That's part of the situation. When I can literally say, 9 out of 10 customs or that I've been receiving have been perfect, and you can see the difference in the license stuff, there's a problem. License stuff should be the, quote unquote, how it's supposed to be done. But I don't think that's a good thing nowadays. I don't think that they are holding themselves to a standard that that are worth your dollar. I think if you, like I said, if you're not collecting a custom statue or just seeing what it's like to collect a custom statue, I think people are doing themselves a disservice right now. The pricing hasn't gone up on the customs as much as in a long time since I've started collecting. So if that's the case, if a lot of the statues are cheaper, the QC is better, why wouldn't you go custom route?
Yeah, it's pretty noticeable, I guess, right now. Like you said, the switch or the turnaround between.
Yeah.
But one of the things I want to say is with customs, at least what I've experienced in the pieces that I know, people that I know with customs, there usually wasn't major QC issues anyway. It was more something would happen during shipping, right? Yeah. Like something a part would break or something like that. And it was the replacement of the part because it's a custom piece, so they don't make that many of them. So they're very limited. Those are the usual issues I'd see with the customs. I don't know how Sideshow does it or these other companies, but maybe it's just, I know they do batches, right? And maybe there was the first batch that went through, or maybe the first 100 pieces that didn't get checked, or maybe whatever that batch was. So they did a batch of, I don't know what the ES is on the Archangel. Do you know what it is, Piggy? You're on mute. Okay, that's fine. I saw you say I don't.
I don't remember offhand.
Right. But whatever. Say they did the first batch, and it's maybe the first batch is 200. Could these have been the statues that were received numbers?
It doesn't seem that way, because somebody just today got a statue, their second time they've sent it back and forth, and the wings were messed up. So I don't know if they were using the first batch or if it was just I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and the wings, and I've noticed that with the wings being messed up, it could be different things, right? It's just
Yeah.
it's different issues. Like one had a crack in it, the other one had, it was too long when they weren't the same size or something like that. The major thing I've noticed were the paint. The paint lines were not, you know what I mean? They were out of the
Yeah.
line. That was the biggest things that I saw on numerous statues. But again, you got to take into account of what is the percentage? You know what I mean? I mean, we hear the bad stuff, but we don't hear the good stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's key as well. So, what's the percentage of error that they have, or something like that? That I think that's a factor, or I think that needs to be something there. But either way, it's just a matter, or do they have a different factory, or would they have a different manager, or what's their QC process? I've never really been involved in the process of the production of a statue, so I don't know if it's like, goes on a line. Do they actually sit in front of somebody and they overview it before it goes out, or boxed, or whatever? I don't know what.
Well, like I said, while I was there, they did have a conversation with me. I'm not going to go into details because that's not me for me to tell. But they did kind of identify what's going on, maybe a reason behind the situation. So hopefully they fix it. I hope they do for their sake, because you can't have, these, statues that are coming out and they're charging so much money for them, especially now that they're charging way more for these statues,
tariffs,
and having these issues. It can't happen.
The other question is it happening to more than one statue? I saw David Jones put up a comment. Yeah. Said he ran out of replacement for Vampire Lust. Well, ran out of replacement. That means they've had more than one, right? I don't know.
Magneto too.
Yeah, so that's more widespread than just one piece, then, right? I mean, I don't know. I hadn't heard much about Ghost Rider, so I don't know.
But the problem is, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jared.
Okay, go ahead.
So two things. Number one, like we both kind of mentioned the ratios, Matt, and I think across any industry, unfortunately, more the negative is reported more so than the positive. So it can be 7 negatives and 1,243 positives, but those 7 negatives are what's going to stand out, especially when it's in multiple forms and on multiple platforms. And kind of to what Jar has said, and of course you can't have perfection and you're going to have some misses, but I think when you're charging these prices, your QC has to be on point, and not to just make it about Sideshow, because as we were saying, it's not just Sideshow. So I don't know if it's the case of maybe they're using the same factories or they're utilizing the same teams that are causing these issues. But with the J&D piece, John, the everyday collector, he had the Catwoman and he had multiple problems with her to where it was really unacceptable. And how much J&D charges, they're in the thousands, plural. And he sent it back, and this isn't to bash them, because I'll give a pro, I always give a pro with the con. He had great turnaround time. Like he reached out and they were on it like that. They said, hey, we'll hand pick your replacement and everything. But then that kind of throws salt in the wound, because it's like, you hand picked my replacement, I got it quickly, and it was still messed up. You know what I mean? It wasn't as bad.
So you can imagine what's really bad out there. If they're handpicking something that still has problems.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the BSC's unboxings. He had one, I think he did. I didn't see if there's anything wrong with his. But it's concerning, man. You spend $3,000 or $4,000 on the statue. I don't know how much that statue was, but I want to say it was multiple thousands.
Yeah.
And you spend that much money on something, you want it to come, pristine. And like you said, I understand in the shipping process, stuff breaks, but if it's clearly a QC issue, there's a problem. You can tell, the paint rubbed off, or something wasn't put on correctly. You can tell the difference between a QC issue and something that just broke in transit, right?
Yep.
So,
And with John's case, I don't think it was allowed to properly dry before they packaged it and shipped it out. You know what I mean? And it's like, how do you make that kind of miss, especially twice? But the pro to that is, again, regardless of what the outcome, I'll say it always helps when they're quick and responsive. And I think, and I'm not gonna trash Twitter here, I'm not even gonna go there, but I think just the fact that, like, with J&D, they responded quickly. And I think with Sideshow, everybody that's had an issue, Sideshow has responded quickly. Of course, that doesn't necessarily take away from the sting of, not only have you paid for this, but you've anticipated it, you're hyped up during your unboxing, and then it's like, oh wow, this. So that's always a bummer, but I think it's a real boost in customer loyalty and appreciation when they act fast. But to your point again, Jarhead, I'm not seeing, and I'm sure there are some out there, but none that are coming to my attention or that are sticking out, or people are hitting me up saying that they're having these problems with customs.
Let's go to the chat. There's a fan of custom produced CMP. He's the number one fan of custom channel here. He says, just wondering if 6 or 15 collectors advise of quality control issues, is that enough to make it a major issue? It feels like it is, man. Honestly, I don't know. You know, it might be more at this point. It might be more than that, because I've seen, I think, more than that amount so far of people complaining about it. Like I said, their pristine one that I saw in StatueCon, I think that was their AP, right? It wasn't perfect. Like, again, it wasn't horrible either, but it wasn't perfect. So I can only imagine you have this pristine one that's an AP, and I could spot lines of paint where they went out of the line. So
I have something to say to that. Okay, so let's just say that there are 15. So there were 1,250 of the regular Archangel, and let's say 15 of them had a problem. Now, if you're doing a percentage, that's 1.2%. That seems very, very low, right? But if the other 1,000 people, you know what I mean, don't really say anything that don't have a problem, and you take these 15 people and just say 7 of those 15, if those 7 post on custom produced page and on casual nerd problems, and you know what I mean, constructive outrage, they're hitting all the platforms, all the Facebook groups, they're in all the chats on the YouTube channels, they're on the statues private pages or websites. So say even if those 7, if you're seeing it constantly across like 8 Facebook pages and 8 YouTube streams and 8 statue sites, that's a lot. That's putting it out there like 10 times. So now you're seeing this a total of like 80 times. Hey, this statue is messed up. So it's gone from, hey, that's only 1%, to every time I look up or I log into something, I'm seeing there's a problem with this statue, and then it's a major problem. And I think it's enough to where somebody needs to get in front of it and say, you know, I'm not saying put out a full like newsletter or do a 30-minute video, but just a post or anything. Hey, we're aware of a couple of issues. We're gonna make it right.
Right. Yeah. That's basically looking at it from a PR standpoint, right? I mean, you're looking at it from, because bad news travel fast and it's hit more eyes and than the good news, because nobody's saying, "Oh, my statue's perfect," you know. Yeah. So there's an imbalance there. But you know, you have to figure out what is the, you know, you said 1.2% or whatever it is, right?
Yeah. But
what's
then
the margin of error? What that's what I'm saying. What's the company's margin of error did they allow for? I'm sure they've done the numbers, you know, with this piece. You know what I mean? So the reason why you would do the margin of error is so you would have replacement pieces, or you'd have a plan in place for that margin of error. You know what I mean? Now,
I don't think there should be a margin of error, because there should be replacements in case of like broken in transit. But I don't think just like, so BK Collector says, to me, QC should never be an issue when buying licensed. the studio is supposed to go over QC with factory, which they are supposed to do, right? They're supposed to send somebody over there to look this stuff over while they are producing this stuff to make sure it's good to go, right? You get paid. It's a big company, right? So you have all these people, all this personnel that you could hire, that you could pay to look over these statues, right? The smaller, custom companies aren't having this, but when I see a custom group that is showing every step of the process from when they do production, and they'll show you pictures. You're not seeing that on a lot of these license groups. The custom groups are showing you pictures of every step of the process. Hey, and then they'll let you know, hey, this is we ran into this problem, or this, and that. And it's way more communication and let you know, hey, this is an issue that we're having. We're gonna fix it. Way more than any license company. And it kind of irks me that license companies don't do that. You have so much money that you could do it, but you choose not to.
Yeah, that's part of the thing too. I remember I think it was on Custom Produce. I forgot who said it was. It's easier for quality control for 30 to 50 pieces over 1,200 pieces.
Yeah, John, that was John.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a different a topic for later, because I was gonna say,
we'll touch on
it. I agree with him. It is obviously easier to QC 50 statues.
I'll push back on it. We'll talk about it when you're ready to talk about
it. You both just made a good point. And Matt, when you were saying like, hey, let's say you have a 10% margin of error, which is high, but I'm just using that as a number. Whatever the margin of error is, thinking about what David Jones's comment was when he said they ran out of replacement pieces for the Vampires of Lust. How many were messed up if you procure, or you try and plan ahead and forecast and say, hey, I'm making 1,200 pieces, maybe 25 of them are going to be messed up. Let me put them to the side. If you've ran out of pieces or replacement pieces, and now you have to issue refunds, that speaks volumes. And then lastly, to Jaria's point, of course, it could be easier to say, hey, of course, you're going to catch QC with 50 pieces as opposed to 1,300 pieces or whatever. That's true. I'll just speak to the fact of people shouldn't. Okay, there are a lot of people that refuse to buy customs because they're scared that they're going to get a janky product. And I'm still hearing that, and we're in almost 2026, and I still hear that. Like, people are like, man, I love that She-Hulk, but I'm so scared to get a custom because what if it's messed up? And now the rebuttal is, well, the customs haven't been messed up lately. All the ones I've been getting in have been good. You should be maybe more scared to get the license pieces if you're using that as your reasoning.
It's crazy, bro. That's crazy that we were saying that right now. But it's the truth. It is the truth.
You're right. So BK Collector brings up a good point, and let me or say something about that. Is there's a difference with a distinction when it comes to issues. QC means quality control, right? The product itself, and that's what I mean. And versus something that happens with damaged, right? Or something like something that happens with damage. They're two separate things. Like if something gets broke or damaged or during transit or something like that, that's completely different from quality control. QC. Yeah, two different things. Or like, the magnets don't fit or that kind of thing. That's just a completely different thing.
So Custom Produce #1 fan says, I spend $300 on a hot toy. I want it pristine. Quality control shouldn't have a price on it. It should be about customer satisfaction. Which that's definitely, no matter how much you spend, you should try to support the customer and make sure he's satisfied, right? And I don't, like I said, I'm not trying to talk bad about Sideshow because I love their stuff, but to me, they're not meeting the commitment that they're putting out as far as the price tag of their statues. Like, you've gone up in price, you guys need to step it up in quality control. And like I said, I love the designs of their statues. Their statues have come a long way. The production has been turned up. Like, you're getting your statue in less than a year. But if your quality is suffering from producing the statue in less than a year, you need to go back to producing it in over a year.
I think I think regardless of if you crank it out in 3 months or you crank it out in 3 years, with the prices that we're paying, hire reputable people to be able to perform the QC. And if they're failing you, then you have to revisit, hey, what went wrong here? How can we stop this from occurring in the future? Or what are our options to maybe find someone else that can QC this stuff, because we can't have it affecting our bottom line, because that's what it's doing ultimately, because there are only so many people that are going to have problems before they start saying, I'm not buying from them anymore because it's not worth the risk with these
Well,
prices.
look at XM or Prime One, right? Look at XM before they had the issues, right? Look at Prime One right now. Both of those companies had the best reputations of having the best quality control, the best reputation for getting the product in hand that you ordered, right? Everybody loved those statues. They always, XM, Grail pieces upon Grail pieces, right? They always had pieces that everybody wanted, everybody loved, but you didn't have to worry about receiving them in hand. They were like one of the highest ones. Like if you ordered it, you got it in one piece. That was like their number one thing. Hey, if you order from us, you're gonna get it in one piece, and the quality control is gonna be immaculate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if maybe because they're out of the game now, we're not getting that as much, and it's causing all the other companies to say screw it. I doubt it, but it just seems like when they stopped coming out with stuff, all of a sudden now everybody's having QC issues.
Yeah, and
obviously, go ahead.
I'm glad you said everybody, because I want to reiterate, this isn't a bash Sideshow, because I love Sideshow, and I made sure that while we were there at StatueCon, that we went live from Collector Zone to say, hey, this is the piece that we're looking at right here. And I made sure that I gave a report as to what mines were like. And I appreciate that they're even shipping the statues out, because we got some companies that just aren't even shipping the freaking statues out. So
yeah,
there's that. And again, it's not just Sideshow, it's multiple companies, because we gave the example of J&D back to back, and they're the most, from what I can think of, J&D is the most expensive statue company out there. That's top of mind right now. So you definitely should have good QC work. And I think, Jarhead, you said you heard of an instance with something with PCS lately. It's slipping my mind, but
I know a lot of people. PCS, they people that said their quality. Shredder, right, with the sword, like Blade had those sword problems. I don't know if that's a QC issue or design issue, but I know people have had issues with their statues, and to the point where they won't order directly from PCS. They're going to order from Sideshow so they can return it. And I don't know if that's necessarily a QC issue, but that's more of like a customer service issue, because they won't allow you to return the item to get your money back. But I know a lot of people have had issues with the QC of PCS. But it's funny, we're on the show right now, and I just checked my Facebook. Guess what I see? A custom company updating on the paint of a statue that's coming out. Like pictures, production, everything. When do you see that on a license company? Very rarely. Like every once in a while, they'll send, hey, look, the statue's about to ship. Let you guys know. But this company is, okay, this is the beginning of the prototype process. They're showing it step by step by step. No companies do that besides custom. And it shouldn't be that way.
There's a custom group that I'm in that not only do they give Facebook updates, but when you're into a project with them, they have a whole WhatsApp thread, and they walk you through like, hey, this is an alternate portrait we're thinking about. Hey, this is where we are with the paint. What do you guys think about this? To where you really feel like you're involved, and they're getting your buy-in into the product. You feel like you're a part of the whole process. And I think that makes you more endeared to the statue that you're getting, because you watched it come along from its inception, from the time they're like, hey, we're thinking about this project, who's in, and you get to see every single phase of it. And I think, to your point, Jarhead, people who haven't dipped their toe into customs, you may be doing yourself a disservice, because it's an experience. With some of the companies, it's a whole experience where you're just part of the whole process. And
well,
you're not,
like you said, you just started collecting customs, right? What has your experience been so far on collecting customs? Like from the PO to getting it in hand.
So it's been kind of different experiences with the different custom groups, but they've all been very the one constant that they all have in common is that they've all been very involved. The communication has been next level. And I'm big on communication. I have to do a lot of communication in my 9 to 5. And people value that. And that's why I'm always really hard on Tweeterhead, a licensed company, because of their lack of communication or their inept communication, as opposed to all these custom companies. I can't think of one where it's like, hey, what's going on? I haven't heard anything in X amount of time, and I don't even know if they're still doing this. Have they run off with my money? As a matter of fact, I'll give you the best experience I've had with ordering a statue from companies, period, was with the custom. I had a custom piece come in, and the group got in trouble, and they were gonna have to shut down operations. But I'll just say they still made it right, and they kept everybody involved that had outstanding projects with them, one way or the other, whether it's, hey, you're not getting anything, or hey, we can find a way, or hey, let's work something out. They were completely involved. And I never once, from the time I heard that, they were in trouble, I didn't even get the opportunity to say, oh, what's going on with my money or my statue? Before I could even form the thought, they were sending out a communication, like a direct email. And they're like, hey, matter of fact, some of them and others, I can inbox them. I can straight up send them an inbox on Facebook.
So this is going to sound like a low blow, Piggy, but how's Tweeterhead been treating you?
Man, don't do it. Don't do it, man.
What have you heard lately?
Man. Well, let's see. The last the last infraction with them was I'm gonna be nice. Was a communication that they sent out, I want to say yesterday, on the reason they haven't shipped anything. The reason they haven't shipped anything out is basically due to the tariffs, but yet other companies are, especially customs, and I just got a custom within a week. Yeah. It arrived fine post tariffs. So yeah, it's either no communication or a communication that man, it's hard trying not to curse, but it's communication that's just inaccurate and untrue.
Let's go back to some of these chats real fast. D3 says customs have QC issues too, though collectors don't blast it everywhere like they do licensed. I disagree with that. Look at Buck. Buck's the first one. He had one custom on pre-order, and it had issues when he got it, and it soiled his thinking for customs. So the rest of the time, customs are shit. Unless they're anime statues, then it's okay apparently. Mm-hmm. So he also says there's expensive customs with QC issues too. It usually is reserved for more ambitious pieces though. Yeah, I do agree with that. I've actually seen custom groups with the more crazier designs say, hey, we're gonna make this piece, but just be prepared. It might come, broken or whatever the case may be. People still ordered it. Iceman, that big giant Iceman. They warned the people before they pre-ordered it. Hey, this is a very ambitious product. It might come, with pieces. We'll do right by you, they said, what they did. But they gave people
transparency and communication.
Yeah.
Yep. Man, I got upset about that Tweeterhead.
Let's see here. BK Collector says, for 27 a Fist Spider bust, I spoke to the owner personally, and he took the responsibility for some local stock being shipped overseas. He says it's his fault not checking up on the factory.
So did you random career? I'm sorry, go ahead, Jared.
No, go ahead.
So Random Korean said there's been some backlash on some anime customs recently. Something about Europe changing some laws or something, and they changing their paint, but now it's showing mold on some of them in box.
Wow.
I haven't heard those, but to be full honest, I rarely check on the anime part of the custom community, and I haven't really gotten any of their statues since Piccolo, other than what people submit or post. So this is my first time hearing about that.
See, but then, at the same time too, like there's certain custom groups too that I know that are gonna do better than others. Just like there's in licensed community, right? There's XMs and Prime Ones of the custom world. That they're gonna do right by you, and they have the better quality than a lot of the other custom companies. That's just the nature of the beast. Somebody's always gonna be better. Right, somebody's always going to do things better, QC better, design a statue better. It's just the way it is. So you're always going to have a Prime One. You're always going to have an XM. Even in the custom groups, there's always those groups. Like my favorite groups, for instance, they're 9 times out of 10. Their stuff is going to get to you, and it's going to be without QC problems.
Well, I have another thing here. I've never. Now I don't know. I only have one Weta piece. I've never heard bad stuff come from Weta, or any complaints from Weta, as far as QC goes. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Well, I don't know. I haven't heard anything.
Are you including like? So when you say as far as QC, you mean just like damage or paint, or do you mean like engineering?
Nope. I mean QC, like the damage, like damage and engineering. Or damage you can't help for that. That's just that has nothing to do with the company, right? That's just the shipping transit aspect. That's just nature of the beast. I'm talking about quality of the piece, the paint, the engineering, the design.
Would you include like seam lines in that? Because would you include like statues with a lot of bad seam lines in that?
I guess I would. Now that I'm thinking about it, I mean.
Yeah, and I only mention that because they have a piece, and the piece is still beautiful. What's the piece? I think Rashid calls it the eagle, but it's what is it? The bird.
Salvation yes. On Mount Doom.
Yeah, Salvation, and there's some very, very noticeable seam lines, and a lot of people were making some ruckus about some of them.
I think though that's a design, not necessarily a QC. I think when you design a piece like that, that's a design. It's right. Gonna look like that because you designed it like that. QC is more like rubbing a paint when you receive it, or light up not working when you received it. Stuff like that.
Properly and
pegs not getting.
Yeah. Pegs
so all that stuff.
Pegs don't fit, or the pieces unaligned, or you can't get it to fit, or
it's starting to lean.
Right, or the wings are if it's supposed to have wings, one's bigger than the other, and that's not intentional. You know what I
mean? I've never heard bad things about Weta.
Right, I'm just trying to think. I mean, most, but Weta's one of those companies.
I think people forget about Weta because they've got their niche. Yeah, they've got their niche that they stick to. Lord of the Rings, Warhammer, and different stuff like that. Like they kind of are over there. And people forget about them, I think. But yeah, I haven't heard anything issues. Vibranium Jim brought up Iron Studios. Never heard anything about Iron Studios. Yeah. Blitzway is another one. And they do some dope pieces for cheap, which is crazy when you think about it. Mm-hmm. Their likenesses are spot on, and they like $800. Yeah, $800, bro. For a quarter scale statue, and they have silicone sometimes. That's more money, but still the likenesses are and it's nuts. And you don't hear anything bad about them either.
Man, Iron Studios is my favorite licensed company, so there are some good ones out there. It just seems, I think the issue is they're all happening back to back lately. Like the past couple of weeks, it's been a couple of different companies and a couple of different pieces. where it's just like back to back to back, where people are having to send it back lately 2 or 3 times.
I don't know, man. It's just like I said, I don't want any of these companies to fail because I buy these statues from these companies too. Like I'm not just solely a custom guy. I like licensed stuff too. And I know if I buy a licensed piece, I want the same care and the process that the custom groups are doing for the licensed companies. Like if I don't at least get that, I'm upset because you got a way smaller company of like 1 or 2 guys doing better quality sometimes than these huge conglomerates of companies that are making millions of dollars. You know, that's backwards to me. That is backwards to me. So this subject that we talked about earlier, Matt, with like how John brought up, he said it's easier to do QC on a smaller batch of statues than it is on a bigger batch, right? That's accurate to a point, but when you have millions of dollars, why can't you send more people to do the QC, you know, for those statues? So that it makes sense, but it don't make sense at the same time, because if you have the money to do all that, guess what? Now you have the money to send to go do the QC. You should have a team of QC people, not just from the factory, but you have a team they fly out there or people that stay out there that you trust to do this QC on this stuff.
It doesn't matter. The job's still the same.
Yeah.
The job's the same. Just because you have more pieces, that doesn't mean that means the job's still the same. You know, if a guy goes out there, a QC guy goes out there and he inspects 50 pieces, he's done his job. Well, guess what? Yeah. The licensed guy can send a guy, he does 50 pieces at a time. You know, one stays employed longer because he's out there doing 50 pieces. Okay, I did my 50. Now let me go do another 50. I do my 50. I do my 50. He gets paid more because, you know what I mean? So
even my rebuttal to that was, I said, you know, basically, if that many statues is going to be a problem, they need to limit their ES then. If 300 to 1500 or whatever the ES is too much,
right?
Lower the ES so that way it's easier for them to QC the statues, right?
Or do batches. Like okay, if you're saying the custom did 50,
right,
whereas you're gonna do 250 over here, then do 5 batches of 50.
Right.
You know what
exactly. I think it's more of a process thing than it is a numbers thing. Does that make sense? I think it's whatever system that they use may be flawed. Not the numbers have nothing to do with it. I don't think. I think it's just whatever system or whatever thing that they do for QC process. I think there's a step or something that's getting skipped.
Okay,
because they got more money.
So D3 saying we shouldn't assume that all licensed companies operate with a surplus of funds for their operations. We really have no idea about their financials. I mean, you can actually look up their financials online if you really wanted to. But the thing is, man, these companies are bigger than any custom group out there by probably triple, at least. They have more people that they hire on. They take in more money. It's just a fact. They make more money off these statues than, you know, probably the custom do, because they're smaller batches, right? The more statues you make, the more money you're going to get in, right? It's just math. Because a lot of these factories, they will charge you less for more statues, right? So you're making more money the more statues you make. But I don't think that's accurate. These are Sideshow in particular is a multi-million-dollar company. So they can afford to send a team over there if they wanted to. They really could.
So I think regardless of the company or the that's
the number one fan popular.
Yeah, that's the back and forth between Jarhead and CMP go boom boom.
You know,
I think to Bree's point, like regardless of what the income is, right? Let's just say if it's a company that's making 5 statues or a company that's making 5,000 statues. I'm not saying that, me personally, I'm not saying that every company has the means to fly out like a team of QC people and put them up somewhere and have them examine the statues. I'm just saying, even if it's one guy and he's local and it's somebody that works somewhere in the warehouse or in the factory, just if it's too much for him, have him do it in batches. You know what I mean? You do 50 today, boom, those are good. Get them out the door. Do another 50. You know, I think that, like you said earlier, Matt, the job is the job, regardless of the amount of statues you're QCing. If you have to do them in batches, do them in batches, and that's outside of if you're making $1 billion and you have the means to fly out a full staff to do that. Again, if it's just Pete from over there in the warehouse, grab Pete, and if that's his job, have him check out the statues. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense.
I never said QC's easier. I said there's less statues, so therefore it's it's an easier process. I'm not saying it's like an easier thing because there's less. I'm saying because there's less of them, you don't have to put as much, check. Like you could have one guy check. Like if there's 25 statues versus 1,000, I mean that's a big difference, right? Something's easier than the other to check the QC. It's pretty obvious that if I've only got to check 25 statues and this statue over here is 1,200 statues, there's an easiness to checking the 25. That's just simple. What you showing off?
What's up, man? How's it going, Piggy? How's it going, Matt?
CMP.
What's up, Jarhead?
What's up, man?
Real fast, CMP, before you start, I just wanted to, I think Marcos may have missed it earlier when we were saying we're kind of talking about an array of or myriad of the licensed companies. We gave an example of Sideshow, PCS, and J&D. J&D was a big one. So it wasn't any one in particular. It's just that there have been back to back multiple QC issues across some of the licensed companies to where people are having to send pieces back 2 or 3 times, like the example with J&D Catwoman. So it's no licensed company in particular. It's just the frequency that has been occurring lately.
No, I feel like this topic gets, it's like one of those topics that we can talk about all the time, right? Matt, I don't know if you remember during the Bowen days. I only read up on it. Like during the Bowen days, a lot of people had issues with paint scrubbing off, or the quality where the portraits or the capes were broken. The same issues that we're having now. I work with a lot of network gear, and at $10,000 to $12,000 a pop, we expect perfection, right? Even for the support that we pay for it, but we still get faulty switches, we still get faulty routers. We're overseas, we're installing stuff, and we're still getting crap. We're paying all this money, and we get we connect it, it's not working. It's what do you mean it's not working? But I do get the frustration from collectors. I do get hey man, we're paying $300. Hey man, we're paying $5,000. We expect perfection, right? But I'm not a fan when it blows up. I deserve this, I deserve that. It's well, just email them, get your response, see how they help you, and if they don't help you,
I agree.
Tweeterhead.
You're saying that though, but you're for instance, your Loki is going to come in grayer than you thought it was, right?
Don't wish that upon a man.
We've already seen pictures.
But you know what? To be fair, just myself personally, I'm like that with my Funko Pops. I don't care if I pay $8.42 for it. I want a good product.
I'm the same way with my $5 burger, with my $15 burger. I want that thing to be sizzling, everything, right? Not undercooked or whatever.
So let's see here. Get to the chopper. He says you don't hear people complain about custom pieces because they don't want to get kicked out of the groups. However, it's the same thing in licensed companies. So it's the same thing. People can't complain in the licensed companies either because they get kicked out. So what you're saying, it makes sense, but at the same time, you run the same thing with licensed groups too. Because if you complain or say that you have an issue, you get kicked out of the group or they erase your message. I've
They'll
seen it
cut
so
down.
many times.
They shut
Yeah, but
down
I
the
think-
whole page, man.
Yeah,
One of
but
them
I
just
think
shut down the-
but I think that what he's trying to say is if you
Tweeter
get
head.
kicked out of a group, you can't buy another one of their statues. With the license company, you can get kicked out of their Facebook group, but you can still buy their product.
That's great. we don't want your input. You're not allowed to tell us something's broken, and you can still buy from us though.
Hell yeah.
And we'll give you company credit. We'll give you company credit if we mess up 2 or 3 times.
I don't know, Steve. Like, yeah, we do hear about this topic a lot, but we don't hear about it in relation to customs. Is what I was trying to get
No,
to
I
with
get
this
it.
topic.
No, I get everyone has different perspective on it. It has happened, and I completely understand, man. Like, I'm just trying to come from a different perspective too.
Yeah, I get it. I bring all the perspectives so I can shut them all down.
I know. That's what you do with my dreams.
This is my channel.
Yeah, I know.
No, but like I said, everybody has their perspective, man. I want more people to dip their toe in custom community, just to try it out one time. You know, see what the experience is like. Is it as bad as you think it is? For one, I know a lot of people when I first started collecting, customs this, customs that. People don't want to take a chance, but when you're running into the same issues supposedly that the custom world has, why wouldn't you try to get into the custom world? Because that's a cool statue. You have the same issues you're having in the license groups, so why wouldn't you try a custom? You know, that's all I want at the end of the day is people just to give customs a chance. People,
I think the custom world has become only embiggened by the show on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. You know,
that's what I hear. That's what I hear.
But it's a good thing, I think, because now people get it. Like what you keep like preaching out there. It's like don't be scared, and don't be you know. Yeah. That's an old term for the newbies. But
I'll even tell people if I don't know the group or if it's a smaller group, be careful.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a sketchy situation. If it's one of the bigger groups, I don't worry. You know, at the same time, you know, license companies have gone out of business, big ones. You know, XM right now is real shaky. So if you're going to have the same experiences on the license side, why don't you give something else a try? Is what I'm saying. You know.
I gotta ask: Is it wrong to stay positive about a lot of these things, or just like
Fuck positivity?
I know. That's what I hear sometimes.
No, I mean I try to stay positive too, man. I do. I don't do a lot of the drama that's out there. I don't get involved in it. And you know, I try to stay lighthearted because at the end of the day, man, we're collecting. This is supposed to be fun. At the same time, I want other people to experience another aspect of the fun you could be having. There's so many cool statues in the custom world, man, that you know, that you could have your hands on. Look at Piggy. You know, Piggy did not collect customs until he started coming on my show, and all of a sudden he's like, man, you know, I've got to have that, and he got one in, and from the beginning of it to the end, he loves it. He loves the whole process.
Jar had upsold me on like 42 statues. So
4%.
He's ordered last year, by the way. He ordered them last year.
4%. 4%.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I just don't hear a lot of the custom community right now complaining about getting things in hand that are messed up. And there's a lot of people that are vocal. They don't care if they get kicked out of the group. Look at Buck. Buck don't give a damn. He'll say, you know, the eyeball is an inch off and it should be blue instead of light rose purple. Like, you know how Buck is. Like, you know, there's a lot of people like that out there that will complain. They don't give a shit whether it's they get kicked out of the group or not. And you don't hear a lot about that in the custom world. You don't hear people sounding alarms and saying, you know, this guy did me wrong. There's a lot of cool custom commissioners out there that are just like us. All they're trying to do is make art, though. You know, they're not these big company conglomerates. And I don't know, man. I wanted to give, you know, a relativity, you know, because you hear all about how bad customs are all the time. But then all of a sudden now, all the stuff is going on with the license stuff. I'm gonna compare it. Because you get for so long, for years that I've been collecting, it's all customs this, customs that. Customs are too expensive. The quality is not on par. You name it, I've heard it all. I don't know.
Just to reiterate, every statue company that we mentioned that you could say we gave a con about, really we're just reporting what's happening, but we also gave a pro about every last one of them. So it's not like all negative or
Except Peterhead. Peterhead was not
except Peterhead, yeah, except Peterhead.
except Peterhead. And I'll even back when they used to ship statues, I was really happy that they did my Motu and my Thundercat. Well, they started my Motu and my Thundercat line because I wasn't really getting those anywhere else. So that's a mini pro for them. So that's all I got for them.
I order like from that company, right? Jarhead, like for the portraits and some other custom accessories. I gotta say, I've had zero issues. Yeah, I've only had.
And some of those unboxings were like some of the most fun unboxings that you've done that I've seen. Like just from the quality standpoint of what you've got in hand, we were like, wow, this is really, really amazing. And I don't think you expected that, right? Like
no. Every piece I feel like it's gonna meet my expectations, right? But all of them always exceed them, right? Like every time I review them, like you said, I get hyped up, I'm looking forward to the next piece.
Yeah, exactly. And all that's making you do is want to order from them more, right? Because you've had zero issues, knock on wood, with that company.
They're my boys now. Yep.
So Jarhead,
that was your boy.
Collector's Own said, I think we need to have a really good and trusted group to take the charge. This is the top custom group, et cetera, et cetera. I hear nightmare stories and people getting scammed constantly.
Like I said, there are several custom groups out there that there's 3 or 4 of them, maybe 5 that I would say you don't need to worry about. And if anybody's interested in a certain statue, get with me and I will let you know. Hey, this group, I don't know anything about them, or if I do, I'll say, hey, this is a good group or not. I'll let you know. And if I don't know the group, there's plenty of people in my Facebook group that will, let you know if that's a good group or not. But don't be afraid to ask. Like if you see something cool and you want it, hey, don't be afraid of just because it's custom, man.
Usually the groups usually the ones that scam are the one-off groups. Like they don't have a consistent record of producing pieces. They'll be like their first or second piece that they put out. Those are the ones that usually fall apart. And it's a lot of times it's not necessarily a scam. It's just the fact that they ran out of money, or they didn't manage the money properly for the piece, and then or something happened and people can't get their money back. And I think that's part of the issue a lot of times. But then again, some of them are there have been scams where guys have taken money and just disappeared.
I did not kick them out. I think
I was just gonna say you throw them out.
No.
But that's just mostly the ones that don't have a track record.
But for sure, if that's happening or you're unsure, I think if you reach out to any of us, like if it's like, well, I haven't ordered anything from them, but I know CMP has, let me ask him, or let's reach out to Matt, let's reach out to Jarhead, let's reach out to D3.
Yeah, like I said, there's a few groups out there, like a handful of groups that I would blindly, if I was interested in something from them, I would not hesitate in getting anything from them. I wish I could say their names. There are some YouTubers that don't mind saying some of these groups' names, but I learned a long time ago that it's for the safety of the group and everything. I don't say the names, but if you ask me, if you PM me, I'll let you know if it's a good group. Or actually do it in the Facebook group. It doesn't matter, but I just won't say it on air because it's for the anonymity. How do you say that word? Anonymity of the group.
Anonymity.
Yeah, that word. Because you don't want a situation like that Star Wars group that got shut down.
We could say their name, right? They're shut down.
Well, I even mentioned them before. Even though they got shut down, they still made things right for a lot of people. So
I don't want to say their name.
So this is about quality, not ethics, or the whole idea. Massive debate, huh? Yeah, it's like I said. Yes, they're customs, and they're technically not licensed and all that, but they still do a great job with the statues that they make. Some of my best statues that I own, well, most of the statues I own are custom, but I would compare most of the statues that I own to any licensed company any day of the week. Piggy, what's your favorite statue that you have right now?
oh man, it's been consistently Doom.
Yeah,
Custom Doom.
custom. Yeah, I know that's your favorite statue, and you buy licensed statues, right? So, what about you, Matt? What's your favorite statue that you have right now?
That's not a fair question, man, because
It's totally fair.
No, it isn't. You know what my
It's
favorite.
totally fair. I know it's fair.
It's
I've said it so
Omega
many
Red.
times. My favorite statue is Conan Fury of the Beast, but that's just because it's my personal. I've got a, you know what I'm saying, personal nostalgia to that.
Okay, if you take the personal stuff out of it, right? Pick one that is
That's my favorite character, so I can't.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? There hasn't been a custom Conan that I would get over that piece. Period.
okay.
Even.
Okay, I'll put it to a different way, right? That Omega Red behind you.
Mhm.
Where does it rank?
It's all right.
Yeah, where does it rank? And would you buy that statue? How would you rank it to a licensed piece?
It's all right.
Oh, so I would rank it to be I'll tell you what. I don't think licensed companies are making statues as good as they used to. And you know what I'm saying? I think they're more in looking at a volume of pieces. I think the quality has diminished some from some of the older pieces. And I think that might have to do with something versus hand sculpted versus 3D printed. I don't know, but it might. But if I look at some of the older pieces, I think the quality of older pieces is better than the quality that's being put out now. And what I mean by quality, I mean the product, the material, right? The detail, the paint, everything. I think some of the older pieces was done far better than some of the newer stuff that's putting out now. Some of the newer stuff now, I think it looks like, I don't want to say like because stuff's made in China or wherever it's made. Most of it's made in China, right? But some of it looks like cheap China toys versus quality art sculpted resin.
Yeah.
So that's me saying that. Now, where would I rank this? I would put this Omega Red, as far as quality goes, against any custom piece. Period. I mean any licensed piece. Period.
Okay. So a lot of people's rebuttal to that, right? I hear it all the time. But Prime One. Okay, Prime One is amazing.
No, I'll be honest with you. I will put this over Prime One piece. I don't have any Prime One pieces, but my sister does, and I've unboxed them, I've put them up, and I set them up. So I've seen them and I know them. I'm sorry. I think the quality of this is better than Prime One.
But the crazy part is too, the Prime Ones cost way more money than most customs do, right? So even when people were comparing licensed to licensed, right? Say they were comparing Sideshow to Prime One, they would say, "Oh, there's no comparison because it's Prime One, right?" And they charge way more money for their statues, right? But at the same time, I think a lot of customs are just up there with the Prime Ones of the world. I think XM's Prime Ones. There's a lot of customs out there. Maybe not all the groups are like that, and I agree. Maybe they're not up to that level, but there are a few groups out there that are up to that level.
One thing about Matt, I can tell you, heaven forbid that there were ever a fire. Matt's grabbing that Omega Red and he's grabbing that Wendigo versus Wolverine.
Piggy, I was just getting ready to say something. When I did like this, Steve, you held the head of the Omega of the Wendigo.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how higher quality you can get. I mean, that head is heavy, it's big, it's the teeth. I mean, It's got the hair on it and everything. It's just crazy.
Yeah, Glass Joe, Diane, and I were there, and we couldn't differentiate like the quality of that portrait compared to the other like licensed pieces, right? It's definitely a standard I wish customs could like set, like with other companies. But knowing that customs could do that quality work in person, like instead of seeing it in picture, that's another thing too.
Like I said, there are those companies, there's groups in the custom community that are like the Prime Ones and XMs of the licensed. There are groups that are. I wish I could throw this at you. There are groups out there that their quality is amazing, man. The guy that makes that Omega Red behind you, he's so meticulous when he makes statues. It is almost borderline like obsessive. Like he will work on one statue or two statues for like years, and then come out with one.
Two he hasn't put out yet.
Yeah, it is crazy, and he'll do little tweaks, and he'll show you the tweaks. Because I'm in that group, and he'll show you the tweaks. And then, okay, cool. When are you coming out with it? Oh, it's not done yet. Then 5 months later, I made a little more tweak. Like it is crazy. He's like very obsessive.
Look at this. Look what I did here. Look. I want to change that because I didn't like.
And his statues come out amazing. You know, his statues are great. I would put his statues up there with an XM piece.
I think I just made a connection. Like the custom grails. Would you say grails? Like grails that are customs. Like there's probably like average probably 10 or 15 of those, right? That's like grail status, right? But I think that's where the custom group like falters is like there's like 1,000 statues that are not even like close to a lot of custom statues that are not even close to. Like,
yes, but I will say this: there are more Grail customs out there than there are Grail licensed pieces.
Exactly. I was going to say the same thing. And here's now that you brought this up, this is something I thought about earlier today, and I was going to bring this up. You know, we know some of the Grail pieces from licensed companies, and as much as I love, and I'm not picking on Sideshow because I love Sideshow. Has Sideshow put out a Grail piece?
Yeah, they have. Thanos on Throne is one. That was an immediate.
I think you got pieces that get hot and stay hot for a while, but I wouldn't necessarily consider them if they're Grails. You're not gonna get them.
I guess that goes into a whole nother thing. That's a whole other topic for another time. It all depends on what you think is a Grail and what you don't think is a Grail. But I know off the top of my head, there's more custom pieces out there that are considered "quote unquote" Grails than licensed pieces.
I think
that's no talk for no talk because I can name some pieces that like.
I mean, I can make a list of Grail custom Grails out there, and maybe there's 10 licensed pieces that are Grails. And half that's XM.
I know for Sideshow, I know. Like for
what
example,
are you showing?
I would say the Gamorrean Guard from the first Mythos line, hands down. I think that's a piece that like stands out for Sideshow.
Yeah. Well, just like B51 says, define Grail. There's those statues out there that have the infamy, right? Hulkbuster, right? XM Sentinel, which is better than Hulkbuster.
XM Scorpion.
Yes, Ghost Rider. What else?
Superman Hush.
Hawkman, as CMP says. Studios. So those are considered, I guess, like infamy. Like they have the infamy behind them. And there's a lot of customs that are out there. There's Spider-Man versus Venom.
They keep that infamy with them.
Omega Red. There's Wolverine versus Wendigo. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on with the custom stuff. I will get tired of naming custom stuff over licensed stuff. But that's neither here. Maybe that's a topic for another show. We figure out how many.
It could also be a personal thing too.
Yeah.
You know what I
mean? But like I said, man, I just I hope at some point somebody sees a cool enough statue that they give customs a shot, and basically this whole point of this show was to say, hey, you don't have to worry as much as that you used to about customs, because look at the license stuff. You're worrying more in my book because I have both feet in both doors. I'm not just custom. I do collect a license stuff. At some point, I hope everybody takes a chance on customs and just doesn't assume that they're horrible like they used to. David Jones, top 10 license versus custom grill show. Yeah, I mean I could do that. There's a lot. There's a lot.
I'll do it.
No. Trademark. If you see it on any other show, boo that man. B51 says grill means something different. Yeah, man. Like everybody has different grills, but I'm just talking about statues that you know what people consider the statues out there that people like.
I was just getting ready. I was responding to him on that one. I was saying, yeah, it does. It means something different for everyone, but there's also a general consensus amongst statue community collectors of pieces that have a certain higher tier to them, I guess you'd say.
I really think this Dark Side on Throne that's coming out is going to be one of them. I think that's going to be the next grill in the custom community.
D3 says, man, customs are great, licenses are great. Buy both of them. Best of both worlds.
Yeah, but everybody's not balling. Everybody's not balling like D3. I mean, he's got the
this guy is
the black version of Omega Red. Black suit version of Omega Red.
So it's on my desk, man.
Ball D3.
This is my desk statue.
Randall says sentimental grill, hard to find grill, value grill, etc. But you guys know what kind of grill I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah, yes, you can look more into it and say, oh, what kind of grill are you talking about? You know what people, like the majority of the community thinks is a grill. You can't tell me that the majority of the community doesn't think Hulkbuster is a grill. You don't think the majority of the community doesn't think custom produced is a grill show. Best day of the week, right? Wednesdays. So you can't tell me any different.
but that's also a good point. Like some people, there's a lot of statues that a lot of people say are grails that I don't really care for. I'm like, that doesn't do nothing for me.
But what I'm saying is the majority of the community thinks that's
the general consensus, right? Exactly.
Yeah, that's all I'm talking about. Is the general consensus of what people think is a grill, quote unquote grill, something that's hard to get, is expensive, etc., etc. That's what I'm talking about, and I think we all know what I'm talking about.
Kenzilla and Rose said that Steve's Hulkbuster is not a grill until they get their hands on it.
Where's that at? Hold on. What do you say?
I just want to make this clear. Steve's Hulkbuster is not a grill until I have it.
Until he has it.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
But yeah, man, like I said, I just hopefully one day you all find a statue, like a custom statue that you end up loving and you want more information about it and don't feel like you have to worry about picking it up. And if that comes to the point, talk to me or talk to D3 or talk to one of us on the panel, except Steve. He's a dirty license guy. Talk to one of us and we'll direct you in the right place. If they're not a reputable company or whatever, I'll tell you straight up, man. I don't have any allegiances to these companies or anything. I'm a pretty fair person, so
you got to rub salt in the wound, D3.
So, well,
Jarhead, do you think you will ever, like next year or two or whatever, do you think you will ever start a project of a statue, custom statue?
Would I start one?
Mm-hmm.
I've thought about it. I thought about starting my own group. I have because honestly, I've got a lot of pretty cool ideas in my head for statues, and statues that not necessarily have been made before, like cool ideas that haven't been seen before, type deal. Mm-hmm. I've thought about it, but I mean, I don't have time, man. Honestly.
That's the thing though. Like you have the connections. You have like you're a YouTuber now. You know, you're an influencer, and I don't know. Like I think it'd be a cool thing to start off. At least like start off the concept. You know, throw it out to your Franco Carlissimo guy. You know that guy, and see what he can do with your concept and stuff. You know.
Steve wants to.
I mean, I do have good ideas. I would want that Russian guy to do. I've got ideas for that Russian guy.
Franco, he did not mean that.
Somewhere right now, Franco's crying in a corner.
He wants the new.
Sure, you know.
Yeah.
No, but Franco's, you're still my favorite. But yeah, man, like I said, I have a lot of good ideas. I have thought about branching out and doing my own group. Maybe if work settles down one day, I will. Right now, not so much. But I've thought about it for sure.
Steve wants to back a project. He needs to write something up for his taxes.
But
D3, big ball of D3.
I want tax deductions.
Loco, what's up, man?
What's up?
Hello,
Man?
here for the ending, I'm sure.
Let's get your opinion, man. You know, I know you've been collecting a long time. What is your opinion on stuff you've been seeing in the community lately as far as QC issues with license versus customs? Like, you know, I like to get everybody's opinion on it. So what have you seen? Have you seen customs having a lot of issues lately, or seems like more as license stuff?
It's a crapshoot. I've seen some custom groups give up some great stuff and then have QC issues one other time. It does seem like to me, license seems to be having a lot more recently, it sounds like, or at least there's a lot more vocal people about it.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I really haven't had too many issues with customs. But again, sometimes the same groups produce something great. Next time it's eh. And I think it's due to which factories they pick too. I'm sure that plays a huge role in it.
I know me personally, the last few statues that I've unboxed, you know, again, knock on wood, I haven't had any QC problems with any of my statues from a custom group. Now, I guess, you know, I'm one out of how many, you know, but still, when you have a small ES like that, it's a higher chance of having something wrong, right? If you're gonna have a QC issue, like the percentage of it goes up because there's such a small lower ES. But I haven't had any issues with any of the customs I've received. What about you guys?
Supposedly molds make a difference, right? They said, depending on which level of mold you're at, if you're towards the end of the mold it being built, there's potential issues versus the earlier mold produced. I don't know if that's true or not, but I hear that a lot too.
Kind of like with a car, you know, when you get that first batch of cars, you usually have the problem that first like year or two of the car, and then they work out all the bugs. So kind of something similar, I guess. Yeah, we've been just having a spirited debate about it right now. I think we're gonna have a show about customs that are quote unquote grails, and you know, comparing them to quote unquote licensed stuff out there. Eventually, some way that's gonna be a big show. So we'll do that one day. I guess if there's no more talking about that subject, we'll go on to pictures.
I'm going to be getting my Modoc next week, so I can't wait to see if that face is messed up because it's all face, right?
It's all face.
It's all
Did the Loki come today?
It arrived today, but like I was working till late. I wasn't able to be here for the signature, but so they'll deliver it tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So we have a Wolverine that is Horseman of Apocalypse. This happened in the 90s. Apocalypse made him a horseman. I think it was Death.
Can you embiggen him a little bit?
Yeah.
Embiggen him.
Yeah,
That's
pause.
He, I don't know. I don't know when this happened, but somehow this reminds me of, I don't know, Thundercats.
Oh wow.
It definitely has an anime feel to it.
Right? It's something. I don't know what it is. I mean, obviously, this is just a render here.
What do
So
you
yeah,
think?
this is when Wolverine became a Horseman of Apocalypse.
Is this something you would add to your Wolverine setup?
I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
I like the portrait where he had the cloak on and the eyes lit up. Yeah, that's pretty dope.
I like the portrait too, and the way that it's moved, like the hair, like hair's moving in the wind.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the armor. I think the legs of the armor look big for me or something. I don't know what it is.
It's probably just the armor, right? You think?
Yeah. It's bulky armor.
Yeah, I think the armor looks too big when you look at in comparison to his body. You know what I mean? I guess I don't know. I don't know when it's happened. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that or not.
I just noticed this detail on the skull.
Yeah.
That's cool. Can't be comfortable to wear, that's for sure.
So this is a different head sculpt than the other one.
I guess it's an Egyptian samurai or something.
Yeah, for Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Oh,
Apocalypse.
Okay.
He's a Horseman of Apocalypse. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So in the story, there was like a Horseman of Apocalypse. He just showed up randomly and started. He actually killed Wolverine, right? In the story, and they were trying to figure out who he was because he had this mask on, and it was a little bit of a story, and they were fighting him a couple different times, and they finally figured out it was Wolverine, and the guy that he killed, I think, was a Skrull. So it ended up being like this mystery to find out who this was, and it ended up being Wolverine. So
I'm assuming he didn't have his claws out during the story.
no, he wasn't using his claws. He was using a sword.
Yeah.
That's how I hold my sword.
What sword?
Find out on Tuesday.
I know a lot of people in the group. He teased this piece a long time ago, but he's just now getting around to making it.
It definitely stand out in your in anyone's Wolverine collection.
Yeah.
I don't think renders are ever going to get any better than this, right? I feel like renders are at its peak right now, and I like seeing a good render, to be honest.
Yeah.
With the pyramids at the bottom.
Everything, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it looks
The
really
sand
good.
is cool.
I don't know. A good render can hurt it too. Because when you get the actual piece and you're like, it looks so much better than the render.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's true.
I wonder if they're gonna come out with a line for this one. I feel like that base could be part of a line.
Nice guy got his custom in X-23 Venomized.
They venomized her too. God damn.
It's kind of pretty good though, because there was a Wolverine that they did, and it's like a companion piece to it.
I mean, CMP, they even venomized Batman. So like I was gonna say no one in Marvel is safe, but no one in just any IP is safe.
Yeah.
I really like that
They did the Joker
venomized Batman piece.
Oh yeah, they did the Joker too.
I like the one with the cape.
Yeah, it makes the face of Venom.
Yeah, I actually do really like that one.
You thinking about grabbing it, Matt?
Let's just say it's one of those pieces. Yeah, if I get the opportunity, I might. I mean, it's not. I haven't the problem that I have is if you go on a hunt for something, you find it, or you ready to get it? You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's I'll give that piece of advice to everybody. If you want something, you'll find it. So just be ready to pay for it.
Very true. The portrait they did a great job on the portrait.
Yeah.
The teeth, all of it.
Is this more comic-y or more anime? You guys think it's more comic-y, right?
I think so.
Like anime-ish.
Yeah, I was trying to use your grammar.
Yes, this is more comic book, I guess.
Yeah.
So I like my Venomized stuff or my Venom stuff. I don't really like I like the smooth Venom, not the rough texture or I don't know what you call it.
It's like a live suit or
Well, the crinkly,
yeah.
crinkly looking skin.
Do you feel it's over textured?
I wouldn't say over textured. I mean, it's designed to be that way. So some Venoms they make them some Venoms where the symbiote itself is like crinkly. Does that make sense?
Yeah, just like in her foot. Like if you want to zoom in for
Right.
pretty-
I mean, I don't mind the veins on there.
And biggin.
There you go. Got the claw
Gotta
toes.
get the feet right, man.
But you understand what I'm saying? I like the muscle to be smooth as opposed to crinkly. But I guess that's I'm like your head. I like the older version of Venom.
And then it's got that base for the head sculpts, which is cool. Every statue should do that.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is dope.
Oh, nice guy. See, I knew I shouldn't have mentioned nothing.
Do it, man.
Yeah.
Do it.
The little spider on their side, is that part of that line or is that separate?
Adam 75 said, "What's next?"
I'm not sure.
Man.
No, that's separate. That's separate.
That'd
That's
be hilarious.
by itself piece. I think one of the guys was saying that's a custom of a custom.
This
Send
just went up for PO. Gambit, obviously.
It's the group that does the nice ladies, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I kind of like this.
I like it too.
Yeah, I think they did a great job, especially that hand effect right there.
That's cool. Yeah.
That's dope.
Nice guy came by just for a statue. He's like, let them talk some shit. Have a good dinner. Nice guy.
Get back to dinner. Get back to dinner.
So the card effect in that one hand, does that light up?
I don't think he
I
does
don't-
light up, right?
He doesn't do light up normally.
Wait, whoa. Doc changed his name?
Yeah, that's him. You didn't? That's him.
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah.
What's up, Doc?
Yeah, because that card effect is dope.
I don't know if I like his jacket. His jacket's like more Jarhead terms, leathery.
Is that my terms?
Put a Y at the end and it's a Jarhead. I do like his boots. His boots look badass.
When you say the jack, you mean the texture or the way?
Yeah, like the leather texture it usually has. I don't see too much of it. It's like a smooth leather jacket. Usually there's a lot of texture on his jacket. But it's still good a piece. I still like it.
Yeah, no, I like the cigarette pose the best. This one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like how the lip goes up a little bit. That's cool.
Yeah, that's how I hold my cigarette too.
No, the cigarette scares me. Hopefully it's separate or something.
This came out really good.
Yeah.
This effect right here with this card to dope.
I think this is gonna come out like we see it in production. This is gonna be good.
Now all he needs is a rogue with it.
He needs what?
A rogue.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I just seen this today. I thought this was pretty dope. different take on Superman. I think is Superman New 52 with the suit.
Oh, the new 52 is a good story so far. Oh, no, the new Absolute, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's good.
it's actually a really crazy story.
Mhm.
Actually, if you read Marvel or DC right now, they're all have really good stories.
I just been reading the Batman, the Wonder Woman, and the Superman. They're really, really good.
Yeah, they're different takes on the character, which I like.
You know what's really good right now? Like the Godzilla versus the Justice League, like the Kaiju
I
versus.
finished
the
that. I finished that. That's really good.
So good.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Matt, the painter, not the one that's on the panel.
Matt too.
He, I always like to show his stuff, man. This came out really good.
Yeah, I think so too. I love his paint jobs.
Yeah, the shadowing is dope, man. He did a lot of great shadowing on this piece.
Jarhead said it needs more gray.
No. Sideshow said it needs more gray.
Yeah.
He did an amazing job on this base, though. Look at the detail and of the paintwork on the base, man.
I like the shading a lot. That's what I like to see right there. That's cool.
All the paints and the lines too, which you like to see.
Isn't he painting the apocalypse that I'm getting?
No, I don't think so.
I think that's Jason. I think that's his name, Jason.
Yeah.
But-
He's done Apocalypse before. I don't know which one you're getting, but I know he's painted one.
With the storytelling base, kind of like the Thanos one that Jarhead just got. I'm super excited for that one. This Moon Knight is-
Did you unbox the Thanos today? I thought I saw that.
Today? No, it was this weekend though.
Oh, you did. Shit, I missed that.
Subscribe. Doesn't take much. Yeah, this came out really good. I like this Moon Knight. Huh?
No, go ahead.
I told you he's an influencer. He hides it well.
Yeah, this looks good.
So I just noticed that the belt is like the evolution of the moon. You know how like you got full moon and you got like I don't know what they're all called.
Crescent moon, half
Yeah.
moon. Yeah.
Man, look at that base, man.
All about that base. Oh, that looks good. That looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the yellow pops a lot. The green too.
I like how that white is like that bright white. It kind of like, not clashes with the base, but it like, can't think of the word.
Contrast.
It blocks-
It's a good contrast. Yeah.
Yeah, contrast. There you go. It's a great contrast. I like this paint job way more than the Sideshow ones. This looks way better to me.
Someone agree with him.
No, it looks good.
Somebody says it needs a werewolf.
Oh my
This company makes some really pretty women. I'll just leave it at that.
It's
She
just
looks like she looks like Nikki Cox. That's
There's
good.
another pre-order that's open. Mary Jane.
Mary Jane.
Mary
Wow.
Jane.
I love freckles.
I've actually seen the prototype of this, and it looks amazing. Looks better than the render.
Can we see it too, or is that? I don't know.
I can't show it right now.
Man. We need the exclusive with the heels off.
There you go, Piggy.
Not enough. Not enough.
People are getting this in hand.
Is this the same
think-
group?
No, different group.
No.
Wow, man. I think William Harbottle said it. Like females are really tough to do.
Yeah.
like report, because there's more emotion, there's more features to their face compared to the guys where it's very symmetrical, blah blah blah. But this group is this sucks. No, this is amazing. This is perfect. I love this. I know.
This is the one that you got in, right, Piggy?
Yes, sir.
I was about to say amazing. I saw Piggy. He was like, say it, say it, say it.
Did you get the one that is
No.
okay.
She's fully clothed.
Well, not fully clothed, but she's
Well, she has on the loincloth.
she has coverings.
Yeah.
This came out perfect.
I love it, man. I love it.
The hair is crazy. That was not even bad either. That was cool. And big and please. Okay.
You want to see the shoes?
Oh yeah. Those are the I don't know. Yeah.
Air Force Ones?
Yep. The Jordans.
And that's it. That's all the pictures for today.
We clocking out early, boys.
Yes, sir. It didn't get out. Yeah. So unless y'all want to talk about something else, we can go into something else if y'all want. Or
I'll say on par with what we talked about with customs and license. I'm excited that I think my license X-Force Archangel will be coming soon.
Oh, I've seen somebody post one. It looks dope, dude.
I'm mega excited, and I'm equally excited that I have a custom. I got another Doom coming. The Doom on Bear. He's on the high seas, so I'm just waiting.
So I've got a question, Piggy. Since apparently you're ordering multiple statues of the same character, LBS is making a Doom on Throne. Have you seen the teasers of it yet?
I haven't saw
LBS. PCS is doing it.
Oh, they showed the concept.
They show the throne.
What? I didn't see that.
You showed it. I think you showed it on your show.
Let me double check.
But I'm mega excited about this Doom on Bear. Mega
Gotcha.
excited. Yes, sir.
I'm excited for you. It looks good, man. Can't wait for you to get it in.
Yes, sir.
There were 2 producers for that, right?
I got
it was kind of a drama behind that statue.
Yeah.
Which one did you end up getting?
That you'd be more excited about. That has a little more detail with the cape flowing to the side, and
he got the better one.
I was trying to be diplomatic with it, but yeah.
No, there's one that you should get, and there's one that shouldn't get.
I got the one that you should get.
Yeah. Luke says that PCS Throne was a mess. They threw every idea they had at it. Sometimes less is more. Agreed. Loco, man, what you got going on? Anything coming in? Anything?
I got a shipping notice for next Tuesday. I don't know what it is. I think it's Madeline. No, the Goblin Queen.
Really?
Wow.
Okay, yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah.
The one she's standing up, that she's pointing?
It's a small enough box. I think. Yep, that one with the little goblins underneath it.
Yeah.
So I might do a live unboxing if you want, if you guys want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome.
On Tuesday. Tuesday.
It'll pop my cherry.
We love live unboxings,
Yeah.
especially when X Exclusive does them.
Oh yeah, on the bed.
On the bed.
He's the only one that I know that does unboxing.
He was supposed to be around, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was supposed to be on tonight.
Yeah.
No, he's the one that asked me. So
Yeah. He's probably on his bed doing a box.
Yeah. What about you, Matt? Anything?
No, I'm trying to move a couple pieces. That's about it. I've got a few pieces I'm trying to sell.
Tell them what you're trying to sell, Matt.
This Silver Surfer right here, this piece right here would be nice.
The exclusive, baby.
Exclusive. Yeah.
He's trying to get rid of all his license pieces.
This exclusive, it's nice. It's got the light up.
Okay, that's not QVC, okay?
I know, right? And a couple of 1/6 pieces I got to put out. I actually got to get up and post them.
That means you're making room for something, Matt.
Yeah,
yeah.
You know, and I don't sell much. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's like, I was going through my collection, like, what do I want to sell? And honestly, I don't want to sell any of them, but I would, out of the pieces that I have, which ones would I sell? So I've got a few pieces that
So,
I'm trying to move.
so I got another question for you guys.
Uh-oh.
Is there anything that you're eyeing right now and trying to decide if you want to pick it up?
Yes.
Mhm.
Always.
Oh, there's quite a few things, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to say that
Well,
loud.
I'm gonna be I'm gonna be at P's house when he unboxes the Archangel.
Yeah, I'm not talking about like on the secondary market, Steve. I'm talking about like pre-ordering something.
Yeah, I got a couple. I want that that Lord of the Rings. What's the name? Ramo got. I've been watching that video like 20 times. I'm like, man, this is
You over there convincing yourself to get it, huh?
it's a living room piece, man. It's like everyone would
Or
consider that it's an art piece.
if you get rid of those boxes, man, you could do a whole Lord of the Rings line in
Yeah.
Hey, what has got some dope pieces? I know you've seen it when you went to the doctors.
Oh, Piggy, it wasn't. I think you said. Remember that piece from Weta where she calls? I think you said which bird did you say it was?
Oh, the salvation.
Owl.
Yeah.
She calls
He
that.
calls it owl.
Yeah, it's an owl. That will forever be an owl piece to me. But yeah, that's one piece. Like Ramo got it, and Alan Kiefer got it, and I'm just like I've been literally like on repeat that episode of Weta of that Lord of the Rings piece. I'm like,
Do it.
So
One of my favorite Lord of the Rings pieces is Azog on a wolf. Ever seen
Oh,
that
yeah.
riding a wolf.
Statue Doctor has it.
He had it.
Oh,
I went to go get it, and he was like, "Man, I just saw it." I was like,
oh.
"I told you I wanted it." I'm beat Nick up, man.
what about you, Piggy? Is there anything that you are thinking about pre-ordering?
Of stuff that's recently or that's just coming out.
Yeah, that's just coming out. Like it doesn't not necessarily on the secondary market because I know if we say it, everybody's gonna say, "Okay, I've got one." So
Okay, so stuff that's coming out. Sideshow of all places. J. Scott Campbell, the Cheshire Cat, the barefoot lady version where she's on the tree.
The blue
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The barefoot one, yeah, we know. What about you, Loco? Anything?
I like the Cyclops that Sideshow showing.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's a great piece.
I'm liking how that one's looking. I'm thinking about picking up Harley,
Ooh, the new
the
one.
new one,
Yeah.
but that one's not pre-ordered right now. I think you can just pick it up.
Ooh, I saw that in a buy side trade group for like $400, $500.
Sideshow's got some nice pieces.
You
Man,
talking about the Hell on Wheels one, but the newer one?
The Jester.
Yeah, the Jester one.
Yes, yeah.
I'll tag you on it if I see it again.
I'm currently thinking
I will
about
say I'm liking the Beast more and more.
the Beast.
Oh yeah.
Sideshow Beast.
Yeah,
Or
I
Iron
was gonna say,
Studio.
no, the Sideshow one. I keep seeing it pop up a little more. I'm kind of liking how it looks. It won't fit.
We're proud to you, brother.
It's kind of a cool concept.
Jarhead, there's a custom one that I
What
want
happened?
really fast.
Said more power to you.
The same group that makes my She-Hulk.
Uh-huh.
They're socializing a Black Widow, and it looks great. I mean, it
Yeah.
looks great.
They're the ones doing the X-23 in a tube, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think I'm in that group. Believe it or not.
Let's get you at it because you're always getting me to buy stuff, and you got to buy some stuff.
I mean, that X-23 is probably the only thing that would get me to buy something. So,
Got to do it.
so a couple things I'm thinking about picking up. I'm contemplating Ghost Rider.
Wait, say it one more time. Say it one more time, please.
Wait, PCS?
I'm contemplating the PCS Ghost Rider.
Man.
The whole thing was I was trying to stay in one direction, but since I unboxed that Thanos statue and I'm keeping it, I might as well.
Here's
So,
we've said this before. That piece is one of those pieces, right?
yeah.
Walk around your place, see where you're gonna put that piece. That'll help you.
Yeah. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just throw the other statues on the ground. I'm gonna push them away and put that statue right there in the middle. I'm just gonna throw the other statues on the ground, and then that one's just gonna go right in the middle of everything.
Did that go the way you thought it was going to go? Nope.
That's what I'm gonna say. when we get it.
And I'm also contemplating the Lord of the Rings one. So
The same one
Which
CMP.
one is that? Which one? Yeah,
the same one.
Send me a picture of the Lord of the Rings one. I don't know which one you guys are talking about.
It's the one where like you see all the characters on the tower. Like you've seen
But
Oh, the 5K one.
I don't know if I would get both of them though. I would probably just get one or the other because that's expensive. So
So if I get the Lord of the Rings one, you'd be copying me, right?
you gonna get it before me?
I think so.
You got to one up them and get the Ghost Rider CMP.
No. No.
I don't know. I'm contemplating
We're
one
talking
of
about
those
the
right now.
5,000 one, right?
Mhm.
And I do like that Cyclops from Slideshow too. That's a dope piece. So I think one of those three statues I think I'm going to pick up. Probably the PCS Ghost Rider for sure.
Nobody wants to pick
I
up.
love that.
Nobody wants to pick up any J&D pieces. No, like Prime One.
Not after seeing John's unboxing, but
there's so much
yeah.
out there. Like
there's a little.
aftermarket is as like crazy as like what's out on PO right now. It's
There's always deals out there, man. I've come across 2 or 3 deals that I'm like, oh man, I've always wanted that statue, and it's like, ugh.
I don't want to say this, but I'll
Every
say
day.
it. I'm looking for XM Studios Magic for cheap. If anybody has it, let me know.
250.
Send me a PayPal. I'll do it right now.
250. Whoever has it.
I don't need it, but I want it.
See here. Walton Chunky says he's thinking about the new Major from Ghost in the Shell. It's going up for pre-order tomorrow. $600 is a steal. Beast 51 says LBS Batman is tempting him. See here. Edmund 75 says, wow, some serious enabling going on. David Jones says Man Bat, even if it goes to the gray man. See here. Emmett says Damn Jar had both of those pieces would be amazing. I think so, but I'd be broke. And that's it. So. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Man Beyond. That one looks really good. I don't know if it's up for PO yet. The Batman Beyond one. LBS. The whole cartoon with the whole Arkham group on the bottom.
Cartoon from the 90s. Yeah.
Oh, the animated one, yeah.
Yeah. I haven't heard much from that lately. I haven't heard anybody talk about that one in a while.
Oh, Dion's a part of it. Remember, he kept going like, "I'm part of the group that makes changes."
Yeah, I know what Dion said.
Yeah.
I saw another piece of my Martian Manhunter that they're working on. Man, I'm so excited for that. I've been waiting years.
Man Bat Rose says.
I need a Green Lantern, a Flash, and a Martian Manhunter. Nah, I'm done.
Biggie's, I'm hearing the Sideshow Archangel is slightly bigger than most quarter scales. What's your input on him before I grab him later in the year?
I think maybe slightly, but it may be because of the base, like how he stood up on the pile of skeleton skull. I'm sorry, the skull heads or whatever. So that might be contributing to him looking way oversized, but he's really not that much bigger. I think he scale in good with the rest of your pieces.
I did see a couple pictures like that. Like he was next to
I saw somebody did a comparison of him next to this
Surfer.
the Surfer. I mean, the sculpt looks almost identical. It's just the legs are, one's got the right leg out, the one's got the left leg out.
Yep.
And
it's
he's
because
looking
they're
up-
both standing on the platform. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's what contributes to him.
Is that what it was?
Resin Ronan says he's going to order the Man Bat, or he's thinking about ordering the Man Bat. Yeah, that's a dope one, man. If I could DC, I would be definitely.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dope statue. The wings look like balls, but it's a dope statue.
Wait, go back. What? Not kidding.
You heard what I said. So next show, I think it's gonna be. I'm gonna do a Sabretooth show. We're gonna talk about the best Sabretooths out there. I see Matt.
Let him cook.
Getting ready. But yeah, I'm gonna probably talk about the best Sabretooths out there, licensed or custom. And then I guess the show after that, we're gonna do this idea about custom grails. We'll talk about see if I can figure out all the custom grails out there. I mean, I could get probably a majority of them, but we'll talk about all the custom grails out there. But yeah, so that'll be the next two shows.
Sounds good.
So appreciate you guys hopping on the show. Loco, Picky, CMP, Matt. CMP also goes by Custom Producer's #1 fan. So
I remember this guy.
in all the forums, if you ever see Custom Produce #1 fan, that's CMP.
It was funny. I was definitely at work, and like they're like, "Hey, you're on your phone." And I was like, "Yeah, man. Like this is meaning stupid." They're like, "What are you watching?" I was like, "I'm watching Custom Produce." And they're like, "What's that?" And I was like, "You haven't watched Custom Produce?"
First of all, how dare you?
I know I tagged them on it. I was like, "You should watch it. It's pretty good."
Do it, lady.
All right, let's get out of here, guys. I appreciate everybody that showed up in the chat too. So can't forget about you guys. Let's get out of here.